That's right, we live in a world where you can get nearly 500 horsepower in a Jeep Wrangler. That's right, a factory-built V8 powered Wrangler, and not just any V8. This is the 6.4 liter monster from the Scat Pack Charger. And Jeep says this baby will go 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. It is the ultimate Wrangler, and it's also the most expensive one. So if you guys have been looking for the ultimate Jeep Wrangler, how does this new Wrangler 392 drive? Stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, I want to interrupt things to give you a brief special announcement about the sponsor of this video, Omaze. For more information, please be sure to go to omaze.com/RR Range Rover. Now, the Wrangler 392 that you're about to watch is one incredibly fast, ridiculous SUV. However, today I want to tell you about an opportunity to win an even faster SUV. I'm talking about the 2021 Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR, the quickest production SUV that Land Rover has ever built. It comes equipped with a 5-liter supercharged V8, making 575 horsepower, more than that Jeep, and 516 pound-feet of torque. This is very much a sports SUV that comes standard with all-wheel drive, 6 different drive modes, an 8-speed automatic, and you'll get things like supple leather seats, an incredible audio system, an InTouch Duo Pro touchscreen with, of course, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and of course a look that will grab attention out on the road. For a chance to win this incredible vehicle, all you have to do is go to omaze.com/RR Range Rover, where you'll support a great cause like the KIND campaign, which was founded back in 2009. This campaign is at the forefront of ending girl against girl bullying. And your generous donation will ensure that the KIND campaign will remain free of charge at all school assemblies across the country. So what are you waiting for, guys? In order for you to support a great cause and automatically be entered to win this insane Range Rover, please be sure to go to omaze.com/RR Range Rover. And now, let's get back to the video. Now, in case you guys are wondering how to distinguish a 392 V8 Wrangler from the rest of them, you're gonna basically notice in the front a lot of bronze accents to this vehicle. It also has the larger grille from the Gladiator because this V8 needs to, again, gulp more air. All of the 392s will come standard with the steel bumper group, the bronze recovery tow hooks. There's a lot of bronze accents throughout this vehicle. You'll also have the full LED headlights, LED low and high beams, LED turn signals, the functional hood scoop, like I said, the 392 badge on the hood, and then you have the bronze accented Rubicon graphic on the actual side of the hood. The wheels, you can see, are unique to the 392. These are beadlock capable 17-inch wheels. They're wearing 33-inch tall Falcon Wild Peak mud terrain tires. The Fox Racing shocks lift up the 392 by about 2 inches compared to a standard Wrangler. This actually has a little bit more ground clearance than another powertrain version, and you can see they all come in the unlimited trim with the 4 full-size doors. My tester has the optional power retractable soft top for additional $2,000. This opens up to let in a lot of light into the vehicle. It's like a sunroof, it's a canvas material, and this window here comes out if you guys want to experience the open air experience. You can also still take off the doors, although the roof is going to stay in place. And I don't believe you can take out the back window on this vehicle, which is okay with me because I like the convenience of the power soft top. A lot of them will also come with the painted fenders. My tester here in the black exterior color gives you a nice subdued, menacing look to it. And then back here you can see full-size spare tire. There's a pretty subtle quad outlet exhaust back here, which doesn't have any chrome tips, but again, it has to kind of stay out of the way. Let's fire up this V8 so you can hear what it sounds like. And obviously she is one nasty sounding V8. The exhaust system has an open and a close feature where you can turn on the loud function from a push of the button. The trunk capacity is like every other Wrangler. You can see just under 30 cubic feet of space with the seats up, and you fold them down, you get a little over 76 cubic feet of space. So pretty darn practical. I'm actually okay with the fact that Jeep only offers this in the unlimited version, because this is the one that primarily sells because of its much more usable interior space. All right, so you paid nearly $80,000 for a Wrangler, and you probably want to know what's underneath the hood. There's a 392 badge here to remind everybody that you have the most potent production Wrangler ever, the first ever V8 production Wrangler from the factory. And just like every other Wrangler, anybody can come over here and basically open up your hood and see what's going on underneath here. Now, I want to first point out one big thing here, the massive hood scoop on this vehicle. This is a functional hood scoop that helps the V8 gulp air, of course. Jeep has developed a hydro guide system to help funnel away any of that water that this vehicle may suck up when you're going off-roading. You can see there's the actual functional air intake. Somebody has already taken this vehicle off-roading, and it wasn't me. Now, the hood is very heavy and it's supported by a prop rod. It's not very easy to open when you're trying to hold a camera as well, but as you can see, lo and behold, this is the 392 cubic inch, which translates into 6.4 liter naturally aspirated HEMI V8. This does have cylinder on-demand cylinder deactivation, so it will run on 4 cylinders to try to save fuel whenever you're not flooring this thing. The performance numbers are still very impressive, 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. This is the same engine that you're going to find out of a Scat Pack Charger or Challenger, although it has been detuned slightly by about 15 horsepower versus those muscle cars, but still nearly 500 horsepower in a Wrangler. Now, some of you may be wondering, why didn't Jeep put the Hellcat supercharged V8 in this vehicle? The simple answer from Jeep is it was not needed. This vehicle will still accelerate to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. It'll reach a top speed of 99 miles an hour, which is limited by the tires because the V8 version only comes in the Rubicon trim with the all-terrain tires. And it'll still do a lot of truck things or Jeep things. It'll tow a maximum of 3,500 pounds. And fuel economy, in case you have to ask, is rated at 13 in the city, 17 on the highway. Please be sure to put premium gas in it. This is one heavy vehicle as well. It actually is a little bit heavier than the 4xe, the electrified version of the Wrangler, and it weighs in at just over 5,100 pounds. All right, moment of truth. Jeep says you can get to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Let's see what I can get. All right, I got 5.04 seconds on my first run there, which isn't wonderful. It's a half second slower what Jeep says, but the drama that this thing makes. My reaction time was also slightly off. I was 1.06. We were also at a 4.4% grade, so we were slightly going uphill, just ever so slightly, but still 4 or 5, just over 5 seconds is insane for a vehicle like this. But I do want to try that out again, and I'm going to see if brake boosting it will make a difference. And on my second run, I got 4.51 seconds there, which is about what Jeep says. And there was still slight wheel spin there, but this is just the drama of this thing just lifting up. It almost does a wheelie, which is just insane. All right, run 3. Let's see what this can do. All right, better reaction time there, but I got 4.96 seconds. So 5.04, 4.51, and 4.96. I'll take the 4.5. That is just insane. And the beauty about the Wrangler 392 is it'll basically do that acceleration all day long because it just has the 4-wheel drive grip. You don't have to worry about any wheel spin. The engine itself is so loud. It's unbelievable to me how loud this motor is. It just is so incredibly potent. Anytime I go near the throttle, it just offers loads of power. The 8-speed automatic is also a really great transmission for this engine. I mean, sure, some of you may complain it doesn't have a manual transmission. However, the manual would definitely slow this vehicle down. The noise it makes is just... What a great noise. in love with the noise of this thing. You know, I've driven this engine so many times in other vehicles, other Stellantis vehicles, but in the Wrangler, it's just the most comical. It's the most dramatic. Because this vehicle has live axles front and rear, it has a recirculating ball type steering, it is a chore to keep on the road. This thing does not track very well. It doesn't really want to drive straight. You have to make constant corrections with the steering. They actually lightened up the rear suspension spring rates by around like 30%, I believe, on this model. They stiffened up the front spring rates, but they lightened up the rear ones. And it's just crazy to me because the vehicle has so much buck. Like, anytime you just floor it from a stop here, it just buckles down. So insane, so ridiculous. I'm in love, and because it's a Wrangler, it has very little sound deadening materials. The V8 is so bloody loud, it's just gonna fill the cabin with an amazing muscle car noise. I'm in love. I'm in love with accelerating this thing, and it's a shame because this type of powertrain is going out of production. It's just being phased out for electrification. I've driven the Wrangler 4xe. I've driven basically every engine that's in the Wrangler, from the diesel to the Pentastar to the Turbo 4 to the plug-in hybrid. Now this V8. The V8 is definitely the one that you want as an enthusiast. It just is so pleasurable and so satisfying to drive. It actually backfired a little bit there. I was surprised. It hesitated a second. I believe that was the traction control cutting power. This thing just has so much power to overwhelm the chassis. Unfortunately, it's still a Wrangler, so don't think that just because it's got a big V8, it can handle well. This is a scary vehicle at high speeds. It has a top speed of 99 miles an hour, and there's a reason for that. Even though this car will charge forward to triple-digit speeds, it doesn't handle it well. You basically just enjoy putting 4 people in this vehicle with the roof open, all the windows down, and you just get that satisfying fun from just flooring it from a stop. And unfortunately, the flooring it from a stop does affect the gas mileage. In my week's worth of testing, I averaged around 9 miles to the gallon in city driving. On the highway, the best I could muster was 16. So 16 is much better. It will run on 4 cylinders when the V8 doesn't need to use all 8 cylinders, but what fun is that, honestly? This is also one of the only Wranglers to come with paddles. You pull the paddle and it actually does a pretty good job of downshift rev matching. The backfires in a frickin' Wrangler, that is the best thing about this car. It's just absolutely fantastic. Now, this is the most expensive Wrangler as well, and you expect the interior to kind of represent that. This is basically a slightly unique interior, if the same as other Wrangler Rubicons. The dash has some stitching on it with the copper stitching. The steering wheel is slightly fatter. It has a little bit more thicker rim, which is nice. It's got the paddles on the wheel. The seats are also nice to look at. They're a little bit more aggressively bolstered. Still not the most comfortable seats. It says Wrangler 392 embossed on the actual seat back, which is nice. The back seat is also still massively huge. You can easily combine 4 people in this vehicle. 2 people in the back with comfort. 3 actually will even fit in a pinch. And you still have a lot of the stuff that you expect from a Wrangler. You have the front and rear lockers, you have the sway bar disconnect, you still have the Jeep people giving you the Jeep signature wave in this thing, and then those of the Jeep people who are really have a keen eye will notice the 392 and they really freak out when they see a V8 Wrangler. So you get the bragging rights, you get the attention, you get the awesome acceleration, you get the practicality. What you don't get, of course, is, you know, a great handling vehicle. It does ride really good, though. I'm surprised, actually, even though we've got live axles front and rear, I can basically run over things and I don't notice it. Bumps, you don't even feel it. I took this vehicle on a 200-mile road trip back down to Virginia. You know, aside from the seats giving me back pain, it actually is not a bad driving vehicle, just it doesn't handle high speeds very well, but it is immensely satisfying to drive. The brakes also, you feel the front end dive really hard every time you stab the brakes. You can feel the weight of this vehicle. It's 5,100 pounds. God, she's a fat pig. But I'm so glad that this thing exists, and if you've got the money for it, the Wrangler 392 is really the way you want to go as an enthusiast. It's got the off-road capability, it's got the insane acceleration, And it's a V8 Wrangler. Come on, a V8 frickin' Wrangler. It's just awesome. I love this thing. So when it comes to batshit crazy vehicles, nobody does it quite as well as Stellantis. And as you can see, after spending the week with the 2021 Wrangler 392, this is the vehicle that Jeep enthusiasts have been begging Jeep to make for years, over the past 4 decades, in fact. And after spending my time with this vehicle, I'm actually really impressed. I mean, at first I was thinking, oh, it's just gonna be another crazy FCA vehicle with a big nasty engine. However, when you put it in the Wrangler, you guys saw how dramatic this car is, from the way that it basically does a wheelie when you first floor it, from the noise it makes. This thing gets a lot of attention everywhere when people hear the exhaust. They have no idea that it comes from a Jeep. And even the subtle tweaks that the company made to the 392 on the outside. I really like the wheels and tires. I like the bronze trim pieces. I like the hood scoop that is functional on this vehicle. This is one seriously fun vehicle that Jeep basically needed to build in order to satisfy what enthusiasts want. Now, the beauty about the Wrangler is they make this in so many different flavors. I've basically driven all of them, including the plug-in hybrid 4xe model, which is probably the more environmentally friendly version if you guys plan to just drive this thing on the road and on the street most of the time. The V8 powered Wrangler is one crazy, amazing vehicle, and I'm just so glad that it exists. This is probably my favorite FCA or Stellantis vehicle with the 392 cubic inch V8, just because it's so insanely bonkers and crazy and scary in this vehicle that I just fell in love with the drama even though it does get pretty awful gas mileage. It's really damn expensive. If you guys want to buy this 392 version, it's going to start at around $76,000 including destination. My tester with the power soft top on this particular one here, stickers for around $78,540. Almost $80,000 for a Wrangler is insane, but keep in mind that you can spec up a Rubicon with the Pentastar V6 to be well around the $65,000 price. So really an extra 10, 15 grand for the V8, and it comes with a factory warranty and it gives you that kind of acceleration. It's kind of a no-brainer. So if you want one of these, pick it up while it's still out, because remember, electrification is coming and this is one of the last ways you can get a big, nasty, muscle car sounding, natural aspirated V8, and you can now get it in a Wrangler that'll embarrass a lot of muscle cars at a stoplight. But with all that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed my full overview on the 2021 Wrangler 392 Rubicon. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.